Hey, well, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome. Let me just make sure this is live. I think it's live. Give me a shout out in the chat. Let me know that we're live. This is Diane Hockman, and I'm here for My Lead System Pro's Ultimate Freedom webinar. I just really want to welcome you guys. Wow, I'm looking at the numbers. We have a great crowd this afternoon, and as opposed to doing some of the fun and hijinks that I usually like to do on Tuesday afternoons, I really just have some stuff on my heart today, so I want to do a real heart-to-heart with you guys. We may not stay on as long, although at the end I'll take Q&A and all that other good stuff, so if there's something specific I can help you with, put it in the Q&A. I'll turn it on now. If you are a visitor today, first of all, welcome. This is, oh, I'm looking at my hair, it's messy. This is our Tuesday afternoon hangout, and usually I have a whole panel and stuff, but I'm not going to go there today because I really want you to realize that it's me and you today. And I know that you can see that there's lots of other people here, but what I want you to do is just chill out. I want you to maybe grab a notebook. I want you to just settle in for a little bit. Maybe I'll go for about a half an hour or so, and then we'll take some questions and stuff like that. And if you are a visitor today, well, first of all, make sure you grab yourself a trial to My Lead System Pro in our community. You can do that right at MLSP, stands for My Lead System Pro, MLSP.com. And guys, yesterday I decided to do some video, and I haven't done a lot of video work in a long time, and what's interesting is here, let me get a little more comfortable. I built my career, my social media marketing and attraction marketing career on video. I was one of the first people doing video. I was a pioneer. There were about, I don't know, maybe 10 of us doing video back at the beginning, and I built a really big following during that time period. Today it's a lot more competitive. Everybody's doing video. It's a little different. You have to learn how to get your videos seen. But video was the core of my business. And for an assortment of reasons, I'm just going to be really straight up and frank today, I just stopped doing video for a while. Now, I was still doing Hangouts because somehow when there was an audience, I felt okay about it. But I stopped doing video because I didn't like the way my hair looked. I didn't like the way my cheeks looked. I got chubbier. I have a chin now. Guys, please don't write. A lot of times when I say stuff like this, people think I'm picking on myself when they write in and they tell me nice things. Guys, I love myself. I know you love yourself. So that's not my point. My point is that my ego got the best of me, and it stopped me from doing, one, what got me here in the first place. Okay, 15 years, multiple six figures, all that other stuff. Heck, I've earned multiple six figures here with My Lead System Pro alone. So it stopped me from doing what got me here in the first place. But most importantly, it stopped me from doing what I love to do, which is to serve people and help people that are coming down the road. I've been blessed. You know what? I take that back. You know what? I have been blessed, and I am very, very full of gratitude for everything that's happened for me, and so are all the other leaders at My Lead System Pro. But we worked really, really hard. So I don't know, that blessing comes as a result of a lot of hard work. But I stopped doing that which gave me the thing that I desired. And quite frankly, for several years, I've been pretty much coasting on the list that I built and on the crowd that I built, and people now invite me to speak in front of groups and stuff. I'm doing a lot of speaking this month, so I just meet thousands of people at a time, and you get that total leverage, and so it becomes really easy to get away with an awful lot. And some different things shifted, and I decided, you know what, Hockman, get over yourself. By the way, what does this have to do with you? You'll find out in a minute. This hangout is not about me. It's about you. It's about My Lead System Pro. It's a heart-to-heart to talk to you about where you're going. Because, guys, half the year is almost over. So I said, Hockman, get over yourself. Get your ego out of the way. Stop worrying about all this junk. And get to work, because there's people out there, there's new people out there. I had the realization that, as much as a bunch of people know who I am, many of you guys do because we've met. Some of you guys may not have met me before, but a lot of people in the space know me. But I realized that there's thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people in this space that have no idea who I am. And it made me go, I need to go back to work because I need to carry my message out to these people. And so I sat down and I sent out a note yesterday, and I sent it out to my list. And I also sent it out on Facebook, just asking people different topics they wanted me to cover. And I sent out an email that said, how can I help you? And I got back a lot of letters, an awful lot of letters. And most of the letters expressed a common denominator, and that's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about it in reference to My Lead System Pro, and I want to talk about it just in reference to you and your business. People tend to look for something that's going to be their solution. You might be here right now wondering, is My Lead System Pro a solution for me? Or is Diane Hockman, or is, Michelle Pesco-Solido, or is Mark Harbert, and I can run through all the leaders at MLSP, are they the guru or the trainer or the teacher or the mentor for me? I'm sorry my camera's a little funky. My daughter just walked in. I'm live on camera, so you can either duck in and say hello, or you can get out, one or the other. But duck in and say hi to everybody and bring Kitty. Here comes, wait, the camera's slow reacting.
Come on.
Oh, come on, camera. There's Jill, which many of you know. I think Bob's here and some other people you know. And this is Susie Q. If you haven't met her, our new little kitty who attacked me when I walked in the door today.
She's excited to see you.
And in the end, guys, isn't this really what our businesses are all about? I don't know if you guys are seeing the camera being funny on your side. It's a little funny on my side. And yes, you're welcome. I brought her treats. But that's between us, Jill, okay? All right. So, is a person your solution? Is a program your solution? Is a lead generation system your solution? Is attraction marketing? People always ask me, do you think attraction marketing is my solution? Is any of the things, is video marketing my solution? Guys, none of these things are your solution. You might want to write this down. All they are is conduits. Okay, all they are is conduits for you to be able to express yourself so that people that vibe with you, that connect with you, that are attracted to you can find you. Okay, so the first thing, and the reason why I just sat and I laughed at myself, yeah, lots of people knew who I was from all those years. I have videos with thousands and thousands and thousands of views on them, and I've spoken in front of thousands and thousands and thousands of people. Great, Diane, who cares? But the point was that there was a point where I just stopped reaching out to be a helper to the next set of people and also to get all those new customers because I just got downright lazy. I wasn't driven. I wasn't motivated. So I see a lot of people that come into the game that just don't want to do the work, that don't want to go after it. I had a lady yesterday, she's like, I followed the directions in the startup, and I'm like, great, what did you do? And she said, well, I posted on Facebook and Twitter one time. And she was wondering why she didn't get any leads. Her expression was, it's been 3 days, I haven't got any leads. And she posted one post one time, and I'm not laughing at this person because you know who you are, you might be on and you're awesome, but it's just a mindset, right? They posted one time and wondered why they didn't get any leads, and what they were realizing that almost nobody had seen their message. So marketing and attraction marketing and My Lead System Pro is about learning how to use different vehicles to get your message in front of lots of people so the ones that are right for you can find you. And it actually removes all rejection. I have no rejections. I have no objections. I have none of that because I bring people through an attraction process. So what we're down to now is, if you're in My Lead System Pro, and if you're not, go grab that trial, MLSP.com. It's very simple. You have the tools, okay? Everything that you need is in there, period. And yes, people will say, well, what about this? Or because people get real caught up in the different technologies. Can you use a different thing to build a fancier looking page or whatever? Yeah, if you want to, if you're more advanced. But if you were left alone with nothing else, everything you need is in My Lead System Pro. All the training you need is in My Lead System Pro. All the community and help you need sits inside of My Lead System Pro. They're all a conduit. So what it really boils down back into is, what is your message? Okay? Who do you want to attract? Who do you want to serve? Who do you want to sell to? And what is your message to them so that they'll come around to see you? And I'm convinced, well, I've been convinced for years, but I'm particularly convinced after yesterday that this is the problem that most people have. They think that the solution is something outside of them, is the first thing, and they don't have a message that they want to share. So today, I'd like to, and we have a great attendance today. Thank you for all you guys for coming down. I want to encourage you guys to make the commitment, okay? Don't make the commitment to busy work, and I know a lot of you are, and you're being trained to make a commitment to busy work, okay? Lead generation is awesome. You have to generate leads. It's very, very important. But lead generation, all that does is represents people that are coming into your camp to hear your message. Okay, does everybody understand that if you generate leads and you don't have a message, something to share, something to say, then it won't work. Okay, and if you have a message, but you're only saying it to yourself and to other people and nobody ever hears the message, that's not going to work either. It's the combination of having lots of humans hear your message. It's getting more information in front of more people. It's you deciding today that you are the authority. Well, how can I be the authority? I don't know. I don't know. Guys, I always say, when you go to medical school, and the first time you see a patient, okay, you have to go in and see a patient sooner or later. You don't know a ton of stuff. It's your first or second time seeing a patient. Let's take these off the reflecting. Are you going to act incompetent? Are you going to tell them everything that you don't know? Or are you going to take their vital signs and are you going to tell them they're in good hands? Which one are you going to do? Okay? Are you going to share with them what you do know? Share with them what you have learned and refer them to the other doctor who has more experience than you, which would be the experts here at MLSP. Right? We cannot, as business people, as leaders, okay, as heads of our families and so on, we cannot afford to spend another day behaving incompetently. We cannot afford spending another day thinking we don't know enough. When your baby was born, for those of you that have children, did you spend the day saying, I don't know enough, I've never diapered a baby, I don't know what to do, I can't do it, or did you just do what needed to get done? How important is your message and how strong is your desire to take that message out to the marketplace? Because if you can't figure out what to say, your message, you don't have a message. Okay? If you can't figure out what to make a video about, write a piece about, to say on Twitter, to say on, Facebook or whatever, then you don't have a message. People kept asking me yesterday about their why. What if I can't find my why? Guys, it's just like everybody tells you have to find your why. Look, you have something that you want to say. Everybody does. The question is, and a lot of times people sit in a corner and complain instead of getting up and saying what they want to say, what is, their message to the world. The question is, are you brave enough to say it? I wasn't brave enough for like 2 years. If we go on my YouTube channel right now and look, I wasn't brave enough for multiple years to get up and say what needed to be said. I wasn't brave enough to turn on the camera because I was afraid you would judge my hair being messy. It's messy. It's hot out today. My hair is messy. I hardly have any makeup on. I've gotten chubbier. All these things. I was afraid that somebody wouldn't like me after all the experience that I've had, after all the things I've done, and after everything I know and preach about attraction marketing. I was afraid. And I let my message fall to the side through my fear, through my ego, and through laziness. So today, I'm going to challenge you guys to re-up, to recommit, and to make a decision. I'm going to call out somebody that's in the crowd. I often have them over here. Bob Clark, I've noticed lately, has re-upped and recommitted in his message, in his who he's serving. I'm watching him do it as we speak. Okay, you guys, you have to make a decision. When you have this decision made, when you have a message, when you're going to go out and share it, what happens is all the pieces fall together. Okay, they all fall together. I taught a big MLM leader this week. He had never used an autoresponder or capture page, and it was so overwhelming. And so then he wanted a capture page, but he didn't want an autoresponder. And what he was going to do is personally, individually do all the follow-up with all the people. And I said, what are you, crazy? You need an autoresponder. Well, he got the autoresponder, he got the capture page up, we built it, and now he's mailing every day. See, because this guy's a doer. So finally he got past that fear and he has a message. Now he's mailing his list of 40, 50 people because he just started it every day. And the guy's jacked, and he said to me, why in the world didn't I do this before? This is so easy. This is so awesome. I'm communicating with more people. I'm helping more people. And the reason why was simple. It was just fear of the unknown. The tools inside of My Lead System Pro are the unknown for some. And you have to decide, my message is important enough that I'm going to sit down and learn this. If your message isn't important enough, then you will never learn it. Okay, you will never learn it. And I always teach people figure out ways around stuff. Like, there's stuff I've never learned. I've been doing this for 15 years. People always ask me questions about stuff. I'm like, I don't know. Yesterday, I got a lot of questions about stuff. I have no idea how to do any of this stuff. But what I do know is how to get my message in front of a lot of people and how to make sales. The fundamentals. I made a video about that yesterday, about the fundamentals. So who here, and I'm going to ask you guys, could you in the Q&A, can you make some comment? Can you tell me, I'm in, I'm ready to go, I'm ready to play, I'm ready to re-up. It's June. Hello, it's June. It was New Year's. I was talking to you just a couple months ago. It's June. Are you ready to re-up? Are you ready to hit it? My Lead System Pro announced last week, for those of you that are visiting, you may not know this is an affiliate program. It's not a network marketing program. It's designed to help you build and sell whatever it is you're building and selling. Okay, it's designed to teach you how to be a professional marketer. But they announced last week, and we are the only one that I'm aware of, we have a locked for life policy now, which means when you bring in a customer, when you bring in a new member, anything they buy forever in our different tools and services and so on, you get paid on forever. Okay, if I pop someone today and I talk about a course or something and they go grab it, you're going to get paid if you refer them to this webinar. It is time to get the message out. There is no place like My Lead System Pro. There is no place that takes the leaders from within and brings them up and then gives them opportunity to speak to their whole database of over 200,000 people. And eventually, if you move all the way up, we'll joint venture with you and share your product. Would you like to have your product go and be mailed out to over 200,000 hot buyers in this industry? Okay. How many of you guys are ready to let go of worrying about all this stuff and just say something? Just hold out to your hand to the people behind you. Can you let go of what you don't know and focus on, if you just go through our very first training unit, you know more than most people out there. I just helped a top earner in the industry learn the basics of attraction marketing. So you know more than most people. And yet, most of this crowd will sit and watch. And this is why, it's the always 80-20 rule, the Pareto principle, the so on and so forth. People will sit and complain that some people make all the money. It's because some people have all the passion. Write that down. The people that make all the money have all the passion. All you got to do is raise your energy and pick it up and talk like you mean business, and all of a sudden people will gather around and you will make money. It is magical. What do you have to say? What do you have to share? Because that's what this community is about. I don't care who joins what and who does what and who works with who. What I care about is that each and every one of you find your way. And by the way, My Lead System Pro often is the first step for somebody realizing what their true love is. And they end up going off in different directions. They learn the basics of marketing. You may not be a network marketer. You may not be an affiliate marketer. Maybe you were born to I have one of my clients now. She realized she's a what do you call it? The people that help people have babies, a midwife. And she kind of left that, and she was in the home business industry, and she was in MLM, and now she's going back, and she has created vitamins for women who are pregnant for the different stages that are different for each stage of the pregnancy. It's her passion. She loves it. In 2 minutes, I watched this woman flip from timid to bold. It's because she had a message. What is your message? And if you have questions, go in the Q&A and let me answer you. Let me help. You know, I can't motivate you. I can inspire you. I can give you my experience, but I can't motivate you. That has to come from you. But I want you to take a look at yourself today and ask yourself, what's stopping me? And most of the time it's something stupid like I have crooked teeth and my tooth chipped and I don't want people to see my teeth. And every time I see a picture of myself, and I've had it fixed like 3 times, and now it's chipped, and now they tell me I have to have a crown. And the only thing I hate worse than having a chipped tooth is dental work. So it's really cosmetic. So I haven't gotten the crown done. Everybody's like, you can just get it fixed. No, you can't anymore. Mine's done. The tooth needs a crown, or it just needs to look ugly. And I haven't been talking to people, my heart, and sharing my heart with people because I hate the way my tooth looks, of all things. So what is stopping you? What is keeping you? Is it that you don't think you know enough? Guys, you got a whole partnership here. You have a whole back office worth of information on everything under the sun. Watch a training and then regurgitate it. Okay, give credit where credit is due. Don't steal something, but most of the concepts have been around. You know, like if you do a training on what's a capture page and how to use it, you know, we didn't make it up, guys. It's been around since the internet. So training someone else about that isn't stealing from anyone. It's just regurgitating the information in your own special way. Okay? I can't motivate you. I can give you what I know. I can share stories with you. And by the way, that's a big thing that you guys should be doing. Are you collecting and sharing stories? Who at your program had an incredible product result? Who changed their life? Right now, you know, I just think of our own leaders. Right now, Ray Higdon, who used to be in foreclosure, is in Maui with his wife. And if you follow Ray, there's pictures all over, and they're at waterfalls and drinking Mai Tais and flying first class. And it's a life changed. It's a life changed. That's a story I want to share with someone, myself. You know, I just booked another cruise. I'm going all over. I'm traveling everywhere this summer. I feel like the summer's over because I'm all over the place. It's a life change. I used to be cutting coupons and praying for enough money to buy a steak for a barbecue once over the course of the summer. Okay? Attraction marketing. And getting out there and sharing your message and then pointing people into a vehicle where you can collect their information and continue to communicate with them. It allows you to sort through the people. It allows you to communicate with the people. It allows you to express yourself and your personality. Most of all, your passion. Where is your passion? Is it for your product? Is it for your company? My passion is for people more than anything. I love all the products. They're great. I love all the different tools and things and trainings and things that I promote. But I love the people. I love drive and desire. I'm a Think and Grow Rich Napoleon Hill type of girl. I love watching people rising up and finding who they were born to be. Yesterday I was out, if you check my Facebook wall, I was promoting my friend Ori. He's doing a campaign. He's an amazing guy, and now he's become an artist. And he was raising some funds for an art thing that he's doing. And I told everybody to give him money. Not because of, he'll send you, if you donate so much, it's like a Kickstarter. If you send him so much, he'll send you a piece of art, and that's great. And I'm looking forward to getting my art for the money that I gave him. But the reason why I want people to give him money, and the reason why I give him money, is because he's one of the few people brave enough to live his truth. And that's what this profession allows you to do, to be free. Let me say one more thing, and I'm going to check. I hope you guys have written some questions. I'm not really looking at the chat. I'm seeing it go by, but I need you to write. If you want to say anything to me personally, and by the way, you can write to me in the chat. In the Q&A. Nobody else can see. And if you say, don't read this aloud or something, that's okay. I won't. Trust me, I won't. I promise. But every time I go to get my nails done or my hair done or wherever I'm going, today I was out somewhere, and they were like, well, do you have the day off? And every time somebody says that to me, I want to pinch myself, because my life is the way I create it. Okay, I can come and go. I can take the day off. I can go. I made 20 videos yesterday. Another day I'll goof off and do nothing. I can go, with the kids and go for a walk. We can go for an ice cream. We can spontaneously decide to just take off anytime we want. My whole family's off all summer. Well, the kids have to work now. They're older. But, I could just go spontaneously. Hey, let's go to the beach for 2 days, midweek, and get a really good deal. I can look at a Groupon hotel offer and go, let's go. I just randomly booked a cruise the other day. All these other people were like, well, I can't go this summer because it was a really good deal. And I was like, I can go anytime I want. That's the life. That's the possibility. That's the potential. And that's what I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about moms and dads being with their kids. I'm passionate about people like Ori who can do their art. I'm passionate about people that can get out of that bondage of that place. You know, a lot of people are working, and I'm not against jobs, and I don't encourage you to quit your job before it's time. But some people are working in horrible places under horrible people, under horrible conditions. I don't mean sweatshops like back in the day. I mean just places where you don't feel good, and you have that Sunday night dread that I have to go back to that place. I help people break free. My Lead System Pro helps people break free. But again, My Lead System Pro is just a conduit. It is not the answer. Neither is anything else. Right now I'm watching, you know, people are watching a particular marketer out there who I admire greatly, and he has risen up lately, and he's inspiring lots of people, and they are getting very excited. But the irony is they're excited because he's excited instead of being excited themselves. I want you to think about that. Do you only get excited when somebody that you love to listen to gets excited? Like, are you maybe excited today because I'm excited? Why not be the one that's excited that inspires the others? Why not? And who told you that you're not allowed to? Who told you that you're not allowed to be the one that people go, I love that guy, I love that girl, I love to listen to them, I'm turned on by that message, I'm riled up? Who told you you're not allowed to write that letter? Who told you you're not allowed to make that video? Who told you you're not allowed to be the leader in your own life? All right, I've rambled for a half an hour. Let's see if anybody's written me. If not, I'll be devastated. Oh, good. John, are you not a member now? If you're not a member, yes, you are still eligible to grab a trial. If you specifically wanted to work with the person, I'm not indicating who it was, but if you wanted to work with the person who you signed up with, you may not be tagged to them, so you might want to get their direct link just to be sure. It's always their username .mlsp.com, like mine is DianeHockman.mlsp.com. Bert's might be Bert Bledsoe. I think his is, I forget what Bert's is. It's something really cool. I forget, but I know it off the top of my head. I forget. So get their username. If you don't have a trial, if you came here through a link from that person, then MLSP.com will hook you up with that person. If you didn't, or you're not 100% sure and there's somebody particular you want to work with, make sure you get their username. Bert says he's ready to re-up. Bert doesn't need to re-up because he's always been up. Okay, that man is a ball of energy. I know a lot of you guys know him. He's very passionate. He's very excited. What I love about Bert is he's excited about whatever. He gets a goat, he's excited about goats. The other day he found his favorite coffee joint in Colorado that he didn't think they had in Colorado. The guy was excited about coffee. The guy could be excited about a bug. Okay, and that's that passion that's like makes such a great life. Every day is a special day. You know, I mean, we forget the things that we have around us. Something as simple as your smartphone. My kids make fun of me because mine's super big, so I have a note because I can't see. You know, think about what this thing can do. And those of you that are a little more mature like me, this was a dream when we were kids. I am so excited about social media, about mobile, and my ability to communicate with the world in my palm. I can't tell you. And that's how I became known. It's because I ranted. I have audio of me talking about social media before anybody knew about it, okay, before anybody knew what was going on. And I used to just go nuts because nobody understood what was coming. And I think you guys still don't understand how much more so it's coming, because before you'd make some content and people would have to go back to their computer and turn it on and log in and then sit there and watch you. Now it's with them everywhere they go, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. People can tap into you. And if you develop a passion and a message, you start to develop a following. And the next thing, and here's what's cool. My videos that I did yesterday, they're not fancy. I didn't edit them up fancy. I didn't put music with them. I don't have one of those flashy animated intros. Because here's the thing, content is king, and people don't care if it's flashy, they care if it speaks to them. Write that down. People don't care if I'm flashy, they care if I speak to them. The audience comes from people coming out because you're speaking to them, and most importantly, speaking into them. Okay, I'm not talking you to tell you about something. I'm literally going from here, right, from my mouth into your heart, hopefully. Okay, some of you I'm going into your head, but a lot of you feel me more right now than you hear me. You feel me more than you hear me. And that's the key, and that's the magic. So the ability to be able to communicate with people in little clips. See, it used to be we'd sit around and we'd talk for a while. Now you can use Snapchat and you can send people a 7-minute clip with one sentence. And it's more profound than a 10-minute video very often. So the way we're communicating is changing. And for all of us, it is the opportunity of a lifetime. You just may not know. Helena, the way I come up with ideas from my videos is simple. I take my notes from the things I've been studying, and I just pick things out of the notes. Okay, I had I think I have it here. Hang on. I show this in one of the videos, but this is my date book, and I actually just got my new one. I actually get date books on weird times of the year. Don't ask. And sometimes when I'm traveling or I'm on a plane, you know that time period on a plane, they used to make you turn off your electronic devices. They don't anymore. But you have that time period from when you have to turn stuff off to when the plane takes off, and you're just kind of sitting there and you have to hit so many feet. And you can read the magazine in the plane, or you could pull out a book. And I always just randomly do stream of consciousness. I'm just looking for something for you guys. And so sometimes I just make lists, and here's what's pathetic. I make lists of video ideas. Let me tell you when I made this list. I made this list in January. It's June, okay? This is a list of just stream of consciousness. I just sat down and I wrote things that I think that I should tell people, okay? What do you know right now that you think you should share with someone else? It's a great question. Write that down. Do it right after this call. What do you know right now that you think you should share with somebody else? There's a million things you know right now that you should share with someone else. So that's what I did. I wrote a list of things I know that I should share with somebody else. And yesterday, and I didn't even get halfway through this list, yesterday I finally said, all right, and about a week or two ago I actually made my 7 videos. And then yesterday I just sat down and made a bunch of them. Now, do I think you guys should do 20 videos a day? No, but if you haven't done any videos in a long time, getting yourself going, I find that once I get going, I'm better. Okay, so you can do them one a day. You can do them all. You know, I did them all in one day, and now I'll release them on different days and so on. So where do I get ideas? Think about, what do you know that you need to share with someone? What do you need to know that they don't know? I mean, what do you already know that somebody else doesn't know? Think about everything that you didn't know when you started that you know now, and think about somebody else. Because that's your target, the people that want to learn what you're learning or have learned. And especially somebody like you. You've been through a lot of training, so you know a lot of stuff. Guys, you can't take it all in, okay? You have to take it in and spit it out. Take it in and spit it out. Don't let it sit in there. You know why? Because if you let all that information sit in your head, it creates that sensation of overwhelm and confusion, right? It's like, which one should I do? Should I do this? Should I do this? Should I do this? Should I do this? And so it's all stuck in there. In the ear, through the mind, out the mouth, or fingers if you like to type, right? If you want to write articles and blog posts, that's great. In the ears, through the mind, out the mouth, or fingers. And the faster you can do that cycle, the faster you can put it in and out, the better. The better. You know, listen to tapes, go watch. I mean, all you got to do is go on YouTube and pull up any of your favorite people, trainers, and so on. Go watch a Jim Rohn video. It'll inspire you. Now, don't say the same exact thing as Jim Rohn. Talk about what you felt and what you thought while you were listening to him. Maybe I'm saying something today that inspires you to go create a piece of content. Maybe I've said 10 things today that inspires you and makes you want to move. Don't say what I said. Talk about your interpretation, your feelings, your thoughts about what you heard today. Tracy, the best way to make a video. The question is, what's the best way to make a video? The best way to make a video is the way you know how now. Okay? The best way to make a video is the way you know how now. Watch. I've just turned on the camera on my cell phone. I wish I had my iPad here. I don't know what you guys have, but I know most of you have a cell phone. I've switched it to video. Now I will record a video. Hey guys, it's Diane, and I'm here. I'm actually on the Tuesday Ultimate Freedom webinar, and I am answering Tracy's question about the best way to make a video. I think the best way to make a video is the way that you know how to right now. So I just grabbed my phone, hit record, making a video real quick, and now I'm going to upload it to YouTube, and before you know it, it'll be right up there. Guys, if you'd like some great training and information, you can go over to DianeHochman.com, put in your name and email, and I'll send you out some great stuff. We have free training every single week, just like we're doing right now live. So say hi, because you are live on camera right now. I'll see you guys later. Et voila, the video she has made. Now I will go into my thing. Come on, phone. I'm trying to get the, okay. Okay, there's the video, and I will hit a button, and I'm about to share it to YouTube. Share YouTube, and I'm going to call it, let's see, Shot Live on my webinar. Now, I'm not giving it a title like you guys should. Your title should reflect what you think people are searching for, but I'm putting this up for you guys to see. I'm not going to put a description. I don't have time right now. There you go. I am literally uploading the video that I just made onto YouTube. Et voila. Okay? It's that simple. Now, if you have a webcam, you can use a webcam. I use a video camera because I'm kind of old school. I put it on a tripod and I sit and I talk into it. You could do it into your iPad. It doesn't really matter. It's so easy now because we couldn't do this back when I started. You couldn't talk into a phone. First of all, the cameras weren't good enough on phones, and the upload rate was too slow. So you now have the magical ability to cut videos with these phones and get them up in minutes. Okay. You have 25 videos on YouTube but only 5 followers. How do you increase that? Share your content. Go on Facebook and share it. You can send it out email to your list. You can send it to individuals. Like if I see somebody talking about something on YouTube or Twitter, I'll send them a link to a video I made that might be helpful to them. Guys, don't create sales videos, create content videos. Okay, I let other people do the selling. Here at MLSP, that's why we have sales pages and webinars and hangouts and stuff. That does the selling for you. All I do is I talk about my experience or why I like something, and then I send them to watch the presentation. If you're in an MLM, talk about why you love it, and then send them to watch the presentation. Okay, because people won't follow you and listen to you if you're a perpetual commercial. They won't. Okay, so if I have a video like today or yesterday, whenever it was, yesterday, I put up a video. I sent it out to my list. I put it on Facebook. I put it on Twitter. Obviously, it's on YouTube. I bookmarked it on, I put it out on Google Plus and so on. We have training in the back office on this. So I sent it out and got people out there. Okay, the other thing that you can do on YouTube is subscribe to some people, subscribe to their channels. And what will happen is they'll subscribe back to you. And I did a training on this recently. I'm almost sure it was for MLSP. I just showed how I went and subscribed to a lot of people's channels, and poof, they started subscribing back to me. So your videos get in front of more and more people. Wonderful. You know what? Somebody said, right on, you make me cry. The reason why I make you cry is because deep down inside of you, you know you have this. If you feel nothing, by the way, we started with so many people and we've lost about 10 people, okay? And maybe they had to go and pick up kids and, you know, whatever, I'm not assuming. But there's a good chance that some people left because to them this sounds like woo-woo stuff, or it just didn't connect with them. But if you feel something, like if you're feeling an urge right now, it's because it's inside of you. Guys, it's like pooping, okay? Not to be crude, but you know how like you feel the urge and it's time to go to the bathroom. If you're feeling the urge to say something or create something, and you want to, and maybe you're a little scared or you're a little nervous or you think you don't know how to, but you feel it, or you feel emotion, or maybe the desire to cry, or maybe some people want to cry because they feel that. Other people are like, yeah, I'm gonna go rock it. That's the same emotion, just a different version of it. I'd call it male and female, but it's really not. Masculine and feminine, maybe, because I have a lot of masculine. I'm going to crush it in me. I also have a lot of female. I want to nurture the profession and bring up other people. We all have that masculine and feminine energy. So whichever one you feel is good. The question is, do you fist pump and say, I'm gonna, and not, or do you shed a tear and say, I'm going to, and then not, or do you just do it now? Everybody now, heck, you can make a video right now while you're on this thing. You can make a video and go, hey guys, I'm here on the Ultimate Freedom webinar, and Diane Hockman is rocking and rolling, and she's rambling, and she's really hitting it today. You need to come down on Tuesdays, because every Tuesday we have this get together, and then put your link to every Tuesday. Bring them down and let me sell them for you. Bring guests down and let me show them the products and services that we have. Today I'm only talking about the actual trial because I just really want to talk to you guys. And I don't have time to go through the different products and services. Y'all can get a trial and look in the back office. We have a course on everything under this. And we have video, and we have audio, and we have podcasting, we have SEO, LMNOP, EIEIO. We have how to talk to people. We have how to close people. We have how to blog. We have everything. We have the basics that are all included in your membership, and we have advanced, kind of like master's level stuff as well, for those of you that want to specialize and study with one of our experts. So we have everything. But that's not my point today. Today is about, will you? Will you? You don't have, Tracy, I don't have an iPhone either, so most phones, unless you have a really old phone, have the capacity to do what I just did. But a webcam is fine. A lot of laptops already have a webcam, or you can run down to Staples or Office Max and grab a webcam. There's also flip cams or Kodak ZI-8s that are very inexpensive. There's just 4 million ways to do it. You can look at our back office and see what the guys recommend. I just make them however I can. Another way to do it is, if you have a webcam, you can record straight into YouTube. You just hit a button, and instead of, you know, it turns on your webcam, but then the video goes straight to YouTube. So there you go. And if you need help with that, go into our community and ask people, you know, like if you don't have a webcam, ask for some suggestions and so on. I highly encourage all of you to upgrade to the best smartphone you can. You know, a lot of people may think it's not necessary. If you're running a home business, you need a good Android or an iPhone. Okay, need. And it's just a business expense. It's something very, very, very valuable to you, because one, you have a really good camera on here, so you can document lots of things. If any of you guys work in with a product line that's like a before and after type of thing, weight loss or skin care or anti-aging, anything like that, you need to have a camera that's good with you at all times, because you hear a great story at an event or something, you need to be able to snap pictures and video. Two, having a video camera on your body at all times allows you to collect testimonials and stories and or record your own thoughts. If you make a video when you're in the moment, a lot of people write down an idea and go, I'll make that video later. If you write it down when you're in passion, your results from the video will be 10 times better. Not 10, 100. Okay, if you make a video right after this call, get off this call and take 5 minutes and make a video about where you're going and what you're doing, and project your future, and invite people to come along. And particularly, you know, if you're building My Lead System Pro for the cash flow of it, you know, invite people. By the way, P.S. and by the way, as an aside, next week on Tuesday afternoon, I am repeating the training I did about cash flow flashpoints that I did last Wednesday for My Lead System Pro. A lot of people in Europe couldn't see it, and they want to see it live. I'm repeating that training. It's a very good training to invite guests to. Okay, so, you know, maybe you want to make a training about that, a video about that next week. Okay, and again, Tracy, I am seeing you, and I'm giving you a hard time now. You've posted I don't know how 27 times. I'm going to teach you something. Go to Google and type in, how do I make a video without an iPhone, if you want. How do I make a video without an iPhone? How do I make a YouTube video? There's training on all of this. You just have to get real comfortable with becoming scrappy and just going and finding this out. None of us knew. Does anybody here think that I knew when I made my first video? Let's go to YouTube for a minute. Hang on. See, that's the problem, that I think we get under the impression that, oh, I can't go to my channel. I can. Wait a minute. I'm logged into another channel. I'm just looking for something and see if I can find it, and then I'll bring the screen up. Everybody is under the impression that Ray Higdon knew about blogging when Ray Higdon started blogging. I promise you he didn't. Everybody is under the impression that Michelle Pasquasolido knew about Facebook advertising when she started Facebook advertising. I promise you she didn't. Everybody's under the impression that Frank and Mark knew all about YouTube marketing when they started YouTube marketing. I promise you they didn't. So every time you say, I don't know how, the coolest part about it is you are exactly the same as every person that's making multiple six figures. The difference between the people that don't know how and the rock stars is the people who are rock stars said, I'd like to learn how now. And they went out and they decided to learn. And they looked it up. They looked it up. Let me stop this video. They just looked it up. I'm going to bring you back to my very first video. I'm going to tell you a story about that. Let me find it. Let me turn on my screen here. So I think that right there is mega profound, because I didn't know how to do a video either, and because I was a pioneer, there was no one to ask. Okay? There was nobody that knew how to do this. I didn't have a single friend or know anybody that knew how to edit a video. I didn't know anybody that knew how to upload a video. So here's what happened. Here's the story, and I'm trying to scroll through. Hopefully you guys can see my screen. Let's see. Was it 2006 or 2007? We'll find out in a second. And I have to scroll back because there's a lot of videos here. There's a lot of videos here. And most every leader here at My Lead System Pro has a pretty good YouTube channel with a lot of hidden gold on it. You might want to go subscribe to some of these guys and take some time every now and again. What I like to do is I watch people's videos. I take my phone or my iPad in the bathroom, sorry to be weird, and in other places. And when I have, like if I'm cooking dinner, I'm often listening to a podcast or listening to someone's video. I'm sticking them into the you know, nooks and crannies for all you English muffin fans of my day. All right, I'm scrolling back. 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 Yes, I've made a few videos in my day. And if you scroll back in my videos and you keep looking at them, you'll see I get skinnier and skinnier and skinnier as we go back in time, and my tooth wasn't chipped, and I was a lot younger, and all kinds of other good things. So it kind of kills me when I scroll back, but that's okay. It is what it is. I am who I am. I am the two most powerful words in the English language. Okay, so here we are 7 years ago. MLM X Factor. I guess I uploaded part 2 first, but this is really the very first one. So I seem to be semi-naked in this video. And I'm going to stop it. So this was May 2007. I've been a YouTube member since December 2006, and I was chicken for 6 months to make a video. Okay, so we get to May 2007, and I decided I was going to make a video. I had a video camera. It was an older one. I had to figure out, once I recorded the video, then I had to figure out how to format it, because you had to, back then it was really challenging. It wasn't easy like it is today, and I had to reformat the video. And then I swore to myself that I wouldn't go to bed until my video was up on YouTube. Swore. Okay. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. I have toothpicks in my eyes. I'm exhausted. I'm messaging my friend Jerry, who was the one that talked me into doing the videos, because he's not really in this space, but he was doing videos, and he kept telling me how I had to do them and how incredible they were. And I couldn't figure out why YouTube kept rejecting my video. And I had tried to, and back then it took a really long time to upload. It does now still, because sometimes a video can take a long time to upload because we're actually in HD video now. That's the other thing. If you go back in time and look at my videos, you'll see the quality of them is much less because there was no high definition. Of course, they didn't invent high definition until I was 45. Thank you, guys. Until everybody could see all my wrinkles. When I was young and cute, they didn't invent it. They invented it now. But so it kept uploading, and then it wouldn't take it. And I finally figured out about 5 o'clock in the morning that the reason why was because you were only allowed to upload a video that was 10 minutes long at the time. And my video was like 10 minutes and 32 seconds or something. So what I did was I split it in half. I put it up on MySpace, which was very popular then, and in the morning I uploaded this video in 2 halves. And you should go back and find this video and watch it, because I'm specifically saying I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't know how it works, and I kind of am not sure about how I look or any of this other stuff. But what was really important to me is that I got my message out, and it was more important than looking foolish or whatever. So that video, the other half of it, got 20-some-odd thousand hits. Okay. So nowadays it's harder to get views to your videos. There's more people doing them. Back then, like I said, there were a couple people, 20,000 some odd people watched that video. So that's the story. I knew nothing. So when somebody tells me I don't know, my feeling is awesome. Absolutely spectacularly awesome, because none of us knew when we began. And every single day I do work that I have no idea what I'm doing. I jump on things. I get into things. The first time I ever spoke at a big event, I was very excited. I got invited. I've spoken at a lot of small events, 20, 30, 40 people, but I was invited to speak at a 1,000-person event. It was in a huge, 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 here, I'll show you this picture, a huge theater where rock bands played. Okay, it wasn't in a ballroom. I was always used to hotel rooms and MLM meetings. And all of a sudden, I'm in this huge theater. Find this. And I'm starting to realize I'm in the dressing room back where tons of very, very famous people had gotten ready for their concerts. And it was very exciting. It was the very first one. Let me find you a picture, because I want you to... I think it's in this folder. I hope it's in this folder. Or maybe it's not in this folder. Wait. Try this. Maybe not. And these are just, magazine covers and different things that have happened over the course. Oh, no, it's right here. Duh. So here I am, and I had my girlfriend take some pictures because I felt like such a rock star. And I'm like putting on lip gloss before I start, before I start performing. Let's see if we can get the picture to come up. So it was amazing, because I went from obscure little dingy hotel rooms and so on and so forth into these huge venues and being on radio shows and being on this and that. And it was all because I decided, and this is where it wraps up because it's 3:52, it was all because I decided I had a message that was more important than my ego. And Elijah, if you're pacing, you're in a good place. Okay, last year we were at a No Excuses Summit, and Gary Vaynerchuk, who I know a lot of you guys know who he is, he was speaking. I was also speaking at that event. He was up on stage speaking, and I was in the back of the room pacing so hard because I was so excited. And it's taken me a year to get back in the saddle. And you know what? I've been listening to a lot of Gary lately. So whoever it is that fires you up, plug in and listen to them. If I help you guys at all, guys, if you go to my blog, which I'm not promoting on here because I really shouldn't, it's not appropriate, but you can find me. There's so much free audio and video there, it's not even funny. There's reams of it. And there's stuff from years ago. There's current stuff. On iTunes, there's free audio. Some of it's pretty old. There's all kinds of stuff around. So that's exciting. Daniel, I tend to run most of my traffic through my blog because I have one. He was asking, do I send people through an MLSP capture page or a blog capture? If you don't have a blog yet, guys, just make up an MLSP capture page. Okay, you can make a very simple page, which is great to meet you with a video and going, hey, I'm glad you found me. Put in your name and email below. I'm going to send you out all kinds of great stuff. The page can be that simple. You don't have to have a special offer. It doesn't have to be fancy. You know, I have a blog, so I send people through my blog from generic content. If I'm promoting something specific, like an MLSP product or service, then I'll send them through MLSP. Daniel, I do not lead with product services or an MLM product or membership. I lead with content, and then I bring people through and get them on my list and speak to them personally. And via my list, I do send out offers for people to make purchases or join things. And then also when I'm talking to people, my emails all say, call me. You'd be stunned. You'd think people would call me all day. They don't. Don't be afraid to put your phone number. Guys, go get a Google Voice number if you're worried about your home phone number. Google Voice is free. Voice.google.com. Go get a Google. There's a good tip. Go get a Google Voice number and put it everywhere. So when somebody calls me up, I help them out. I answer their questions. I find out where they are, and then I'll show them different things that might be helpful to them, and that would be where I might show them my MLM. Okay. You know, I sell a lot of different stuff, and I'm a great recruiter. But I'm leading with value. Mark, thank you. Let's see. Wow, this is great. And I'm going to share it, Mark, because I just think this is great. Mark says one of the things he thinks is holding him back, and I think this holds a lot of people back, is he wants to help people by leading, but not appear arrogant. Okay. And I want to share my trials and tribulations in the home in the home business space, but not appear weak. So let me cover both of them. Oh gosh, this is such good stuff. Okay, first, arrogance. If you know in your heart, sorry guys, I'm messing my girls. If you ever want a headband, you know they bother you. If you know in your heart where you're going and what you're saying to people and how you help them, and that you're out to help them, and you know that it's good in your heart, you can never worry about being perceived as arrogant, okay? Because let me tell you, some people are going to perceive you as arrogant. People perceive me as arrogant. But it's arrogant people that change the world. And they're not really arrogant, it's just a perception. I did a great training on this. Mark, you personally write me and ask me about the polarization call, and I'll send you a gift from me to you. The polarization call and that concept of polarization. In order to attract someone, you have to repel someone. Write that down, guys. In order to attract someone, you have to repel someone. Okay? Now, the good part about attraction marketing is generally the ones that you repel, you don't really know who they are because they don't tell you. Except for some chickens that write you hate letters via email because they know they don't have to really talk to you. Occasionally, once in a blue moon, once a year or so, I get somebody that writes me a horrible letter. It's usually pretty funny. And they're angry about something and they send me a letter and they hate me. But generally speaking, you only hear about the ones that love you, not about the ones that hate you. But if you want to get people to love you and trust you, you're going to have to get a few people to not like you. So if somebody perceives someone as arrogant, they're just not a good match for you. Somebody might have listened today and thought the way I speak is arrogant. And some people today think I'm speaking right into your heart and right to you because I can see and feel your potential, all of you. If I know you and we've talked for any period of time, I can see and feel your potential. If I haven't gotten to meet you yet, I'll know where it is. It's like I have a scanner. It's like, I can see where it is. So if you think I'm arrogant, we're not a connection, that's all. So you can't worry about that. You know what? People thought Madonna was arrogant. People thought Elvis was arrogant. People thought Donald Trump was arrogant. People think, you know, different presidents, you know, depending on your thoughts on different presidents. You know, one person thinks President Clinton was the most incredible man. Another person thinks he was arrogant and cocky and, you know, whatever. Some people loved this one, loved that one. But if you think about it, arrogance isn't really arrogance. It's just somebody with their greatness hanging out. And we're all afraid of greatness. So when we see it, we're very attracted, but at the same time, it irritates us. Think about it. And as far as trials and tribulations, only talk about trials and tribulations when you're through them. Okay, I just told you about all that stuff with videos and all that stuff. That's over. I don't talk about my trials and tribulations when I'm in the middle of them. Okay, I just told you about all that stuff with videos and all that stuff. That's over. I don't talk about my trials and tribulations when I'm in the middle of them. Okay, I just told you about all that stuff with videos and all that stuff. That's over. I don't talk about my trials and tribulations when I'm in the middle of them. Okay, I just told you about all that stuff with videos and all that stuff. That's over. I don't talk about my trials and tribulations when I'm in the middle of them. Okay, I just told you about all that stuff with videos and all that stuff. That's over. I don't talk about my trials and tribulations when I'm in the middle of them. Okay, I just told you about all that stuff with videos and all that stuff. That's over. I don't talk about my trials and tribulations when I'm in the middle of them. Okay, I just told you about all that stuff with videos and all that stuff. That's over. I don't talk about my trials and tribulations when I'm in the middle of them. Okay, I just told you about all that stuff with videos and all that stuff. That's over. I don't talk about my trials and tribulations when I'm in the middle of them. Okay, I just told you about all that stuff with videos and all that And it's because instead of showing somebody what you went through and helping inspire them, you're just giving them a burden. I don't talk about my burdens, okay? But I will talk about the walls I hit, the problems I had, the things, when bottoms have dropped out and different things have happened. I've been very fortunate and built a business that's been very, very stable over the years, but I've still hit walls. Everybody does. So that's the solution to that one. Again, asking me again, what program do I use to make videos? Whatever program you have access to. Guys, you got to accept the answer because it depends on your computer. It depends on a million things. It's all free. Just Google it. Just Google it. Voice.google.com, Richard. Voice.google.com. You can set up a number. It is free, and it's magical. Tracy, you're fine, and I'm teasing you because I want you to get over. When you have time with a multi-six-figure earner, guys, you want to ask them a sweeping question as opposed to a minutia question that you can look up. You guys follow that? If you can, and always ask yourself, can I look this up? Can I Google it? If you can Google it, go Google it. But it's the experience from the leaders that you want to tap into. It's the how did you handle this? How do you so you can't look up how to talk to someone. You can't look up how to be a copywriter. You can look up some information, but you can't find the true nuance. You can only get that from hands-on work with mentors like we have here at MLSP. You can't finding out what program you use to make a video in is very easy to find. Finding out what to say in a video that will move people, not easy to find. So that's what I want to get at with you. It's the nuance of what type of information to seek when you have time with somebody who's strong in a particular area. You can go on Facebook right now and ask everybody what program do you use to edit video, and you'll get 20 responses, because that's kind of like dime a dozen information versus specialized information. And that's the difference between the types of questions. And you want to train yourself to seek specialized information. Okay, not commodity information. Commodity information is a commodity. And by the way, if I tell you what video program to use, it's going to change soon because technology is changing so fast. But if I talk to you about why use video and what it means and why people will trust you more and be more comfortable with you, that's much more powerful. So hopefully that helps you a little bit to understand why I'm tickling you, I'm teasing you. I'm certainly not at all upset and encourage you to. It's like a little, it's like a little precocious kid. Ask all the questions, but I'm going to tickle you and you ask a silly one. Okay. How do you control your head, Mr. David? You don't. Go to work. And Dave, my biggest advice to you is just love on people. Just love on people. You already know the mechanics. You already know the mechanics. Now it's just a matter of loving on people and influencing people. Get out of sales mode and into leadership mode. For many of you, that's you're afraid. A lot of you guys. Let me explain this. I always joke, and you guys see this in emails and messages you get on Facebook, and then we're going to close this call out. Perfectly normal person. Like a normal person that if you met them on the street, they'd be like, "Hey, how are you? What a beautiful day! I'm gonna go lay out in the sun." Normal conversation. What are you having for dinner tonight? Meatloaf. What are you having? Steak. Whatever. That person then all of a sudden joins an MLM and goes online on Facebook and writes things like, "I noticed that we have 3 friends in common, and I would love to share our mutual passion for building a financial wall around our family because I think we're like-minded." And they write this weird stuff, and they go into this other person. I call that guy ... MLM man or MLM girl, whichever you are. Okay, and I imagine them in their little suit, running around, going, "Like-minded individuals, financial security, $90,000 in 2 days," and all the things that they say. Okay, if you guys would just be who you are at all times, pure authenticity, pure transparency. If you meet me, if you come to Live the Dream, guys, it's livethedreamevent.com. I'm telling you, super secret, get the tickets now. They're much cheaper now. The price is going to go up, and then you'll boo-hoo. Buy the ticket, and you'll figure out how to get there. We'll help you figure out how to get there. But buy the ticket now. Get it now. So, if you meet me somewhere, most people are like, wow, you're just like exactly the same on Hangouts and on videos and in person. I'm like, well, how else would I be? Because in the past, we were in an industry where everybody would have to turn themselves on and be perky. They do that thing like I work with people, and every time they talk to you, they're like, hi, rock star, hi, superstar, hey, big money, and they talk like that, and I'm like, who are you talking to? I would never walk around my neighborhood and, the guy's walking his dog, hey, rock star, hey, superstar, hey, big guy. That's like weird. It's just weird. Just be. Just be. Write that down. Big letters. Just be. Okay? Now, if your personality stinks, work on changing your personality, because if you're just being and your personality ain't good because you're not people focused, you need to work on that. But most of you are just great, awesome, spectacular people, and you're just worried like me about whether your hair is good or whether you got a chipped tooth or whether you're chubby or whether you're this, and will people like what I say? I'll close with this. The only way to get good is to do. The only way to get good is to do. And the question is, do you make the commitment today to do? Helen? Is it Helen or Helene for you? I don't know. You should write me personally because you know where to find me. I want to make sure I say your name right. Live the Dream is our annual event. It's going on September this year in Austin. And if you go to livethedreamevent.com, you will find information on that event. And that will show you what's happening. And they haven't asked me yet, but I'd like to think I'll be speaking there. I'm sure I will, as long as our other incredible leaders. And what's really cool is for many of you, you have the opportunity to work this summer and get up on stage and get your picture taken on stage and all that other stuff. We honor all our leaders. You can get to leadership level 1, 2, 3, and have a chance to get on stage. And our up-and-comers, they do panels and speaking spots. So if that's something that's on your heart, it is not too late to get up on that stage, and it's a fairly good size event. It's really incredible. Last year it was spectacular. This will be our 5th year, and I'm excited. We're going to Austin. Austin is a super cool town if you like music and fun, and of course the MLSP crowd. It's always a good time, a lot of fun. Great people. So I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to go see my family and live and enjoy and everything else. Guys, if you create some content, especially if you create content based on what we talked about today, feel free to tag me on Facebook. I will not be upset if you tag me. If it's something relevant, don't tag me with your sales offers or whatever. Tag me. Let me know what you're doing. And then in the MLSP community, absolutely feel free to ask me questions. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to ask them to make a group specially for this Hangout where you guys can follow up and ask me, like in 2 days from now you might have a question or something. I'll ask the guys if they can add a group where you guys can write in so I can answer you back on stuff if there's anything you need. Okay? Guys, go to work. If you don't have a membership, MLSP.com. For those of you that do, let's make a commitment to actually use it this week. Let's go out, let's create content, let's generate leads, and let's start to really attract people to our message. Go out and share your good word. Share your message with people. They will flock around, I promise you. I'll see you guys later. Take care.